check. Okay, so what is the story behind what's going on? Well, basically, a long time ago, or so it seems at least, I bought myself a Volvo C30, and in Norway most diesel cars do have preheaters from factory, just because cold, winter, comfort. Basically, on my first C30 it never worked, which was sad. So I got a new C30, and it didn't work on this one either, so that's great. And then I had a lot of problems with this car, electrical problems, which ended up being or actually one time I had the car in for some like bodywork stuff, and when I got it back, the diesel preheater just suddenly started working, and I have no idea why. But then it stopped working again after like 2 times, so I don't count that. And then I eventually found out what the source of all my electronics problems were, and it was the ECM, or engine control module, which is a big expensive part. So I got that replaced for 20,000 Norwegian kroners, or about a bit under 2,000 euros, and then it started working, which is great. But then it stopped working after like a month, and then I didn't have it again. And so I brought it into Volvo, and they fixed it, and then it was working again for 1 month until it stopped working again. And then I brought it back to Volvo now, and they deleted the code and said hopefully it works. And then it worked 1 time, and then now it's not working again. So I was fed up with service, Volvo, whatever, mechanics, something. So I decided to get Vida, which is Volvo's software for diagnostics and everything basically. And I figured out that it was something with the water pump, which only Volvo makes, which it means it's an expensive part. So like, got this for like 300 euros. Now I have a water pump. The old water pump is working, but I have a signal missing code. And I spoke with my personal Volvo tech, and he recommended to swap the water pump. So I'm gonna swap the water pump, and hopefully I will eventually have a functioning diesel preheater, because I'm so sick and tired of just being cold, freezing in my car in the winter. So that's where we're at, and hopefully this fixes all of my problems. So let's get on with it. A few days ago there was a screw there, and it's not there right now, so that's great, very great. I don't want to see a single snarky comment about my blue rubber gloves, because as some of you know, this car is literally coated in linoleum, which, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's literally liquid sheep fat, and it's not very fun to get on you or anything really. It's actually a nightmare, but it does protect the car from rust, so it's worth it. The professional I am did move the light so you can see the pump after I did the whole part showing you the pump, so here we go again. There is the pump in question. I probably should use Vida to see how is the correct way to remove this pump when I think about it, but I didn't bring my PC down. So I'm gonna go into repair, removal, replacement and installation. Then I'm going to find the preheater, which is under climate units, and find the auxiliary heater, fuel operated, and find the water pump. And this is going to give me the instructions on how to do it. Let's click on the right one. Here we go. Draining the engine coolant. Okay, I didn't realize I would have to drain the coolant. Hopefully I have enough coolant for this. If I know my own luck, I'm probably just going to replace my operated heater problems with a boost leak doing this, but anyways. One boost pipe later. I should probably read or watch a video on this. Yes, I like to have coolant everywhere. I reckon that's good. Of course it's not. Okay, that's all of it empty. So, I guess we're doing a coolant flush today. Or at least a coolant replacement. Didn't think I would be doing that today. But here I am. It's such a nice thing that this car is so clean and stuff underneath, right? So I don't get stuff all over my clothes and myself and everything. It's just so nice to have a clean car. I mean, now it's just get the hoses off and hopefully not get coolant everywhere. I mean, I did drain out a lot of coolant, but there's probably still some in there. So that's gonna be great. Such a fun job. I know I'm not complaining at all, am I? This hose has definitely been on here for 14 years, so it's not really wanting to come off. I mean, I think that was pretty good reflexes, right? Yeah. Now I've just got a lot of coolant dripping everywhere. Water pump out. Coolant everywhere. I guess it's time to get the new one. So I do have some coolant up here of the right type, but it is in concentrate. So I'm going to need to dilute it with some deionized distilled water. I don't really have like any measuring stuff for that. So I got this washer fluid bottle, which has some left in it, so I'm just going to empty this and wash this properly. Then we should be able to use it as like at least in some way use it. This distilled water has like a mark for every liter, so if I empty this to I'm gonna use a 50-50 mix. So if I empty this to 2 liters and then fill 2 liters of coolant, we should be right where we want to be. Now we're gonna pour 2 liters of coolant in there. Like it took around 4 liters. Next up, I've got this Powerflex bushing for the motor mount. So I've had this lying around, and now that we've got the car up in the air, we might as well put this on now. So I'm gonna let this sit, and then we'll get cracking on this one. I have to say, using this made it a lot easier than it was last time. A lot easier. This bushing is for a T5 and not a D4. Obviously there's a small difference in the bushing, but nothing we can't fix, I don't think. And just like that, I've made the thing that did not fit. I really didn't like that sound, if I'm being perfectly honest. I lifted up the transmission a bit, and it just made that sound. I guess it's time to start it up and see what happens with the coolant and everything. So I'm going to grab a OB2 reader so we can keep a watch on the temperatures. Currently we're setting at 39 degrees Celsius on the coolant. The coolant level is at max. Wow, I can really feel the engine mount already. Actually, I felt it as I was backing out of the garage because I could feel the motor battery. It was like, or you felt the vibrations and everything, and just like, yeah, it's a lot more responsive already. Wow. Okay, coolant 45 degrees. It is at max level, or it was at max level when I put the cap on it. We're just going for a drive. We're gonna get it all up to temperature. The thermostat, or like the climate in here, is set to high, maximum, to get the coolant circulating through the heater core. It does feel like we're getting some heat. And yeah, 48 degrees coolant. So we're just gonna get up to operating temperature, which is it's between 80-90, I think. See if we can do that. Luckily we have a bit warmer weather today, so right now it's 7 degrees outside and coolant 50. You can see the coolant rising here. We're not getting any spikes, which is a good sign, because if it was spiking, that would be a sign of like air in the system, or trapped air in the system. But it's a very nice gradual uphill, so that looks good. So we're just gonna keep driving and yeah, see where we end up. If you didn't perfectly rev match it before, because of the soft engine mounts, it would kind of like do a bit of like shift. But now it just soaks it up a lot better. You don't feel that lurch from the engine as the clutch is engaged. I really wasn't expecting this big of a difference, but yeah, I mean, I did, and as you've seen, that stock engine mount is like really soft. And as you saw, this was not like a perfect fit. I just modified it a bit and put it on, and yeah, I mean, it's great so far. I'm really happy I did it so far. I don't think it's not harsh at all, so I don't think I'm ever going to regret it. I would definitely recommend doing something like this, because I mean, it's just nice. So why not? I think I'm just going to make sure that there is coolant all in the entire system before I try to activate the diesel preheater, just to be safe. So I'm really hoping that this fixed it, because I'm really genuinely tired of freezing every day going to work. Especially we've had some days with like -7 degrees Celsius, and it's just horrible. Like, by the time I've gotten to work, the car hasn't even warmed up, so it's not very fun. Engine coolant still only at 60. I mean, you just don't get too much heat in an engine from driving like this. That's exactly why you need the preheater, because otherwise there's nothing happening. Rev matching is so much better now with the motor mount, because earlier, whenever I would rev match, oh wow, oh, I really like that motor mount insert thing. 62 degrees Celsius. I mean, this cooling system is definitely working, I have to say, because it's just not getting any heat in it. The coolant level is exactly the way it was when I started driving, so that's, I mean, it is currently pressurized, so I don't know exactly how much that affects it, but oh, the response is a lot better now. You really do feel it. Let's get some heat in this engine. I mean, the engine can be inefficient, obviously, because now the temperature has really gone up. We were at 78, and now it's dropping down again. It is actually working. Oh my. I did hear some bubbling or something though, so I think I'm just gonna go out and open the coolant reservoir. Let it sit while the preheater does its thing. It's not even smoking. Something's dripping.